Welcome, everyone, and welcome back to the Cultured Cabbage. It's once again me, my friends Karl. Hi, Karl.
Hi, Karl.
And Jacob.
Hey.
Hi, Jacob. We're once again to bring you the news. It's been a crazy couple of weeks here, news-wise, but we're once again just here to bring it all to you. We don't have the most amount of stuff to bring this week, but we do have a little thing that's been going on recently. Sort of a writer's strike that is now evolved into an actor's strike.
So our show will be going on hiatus. Just
it's no one's heard of it. I think we're like the first people covering it. We got the inside scoop, of course. But in all honesty, it's something, all right. But in fact, normally we usually leave with the DC stuff. But Carl, do you want to get the strike stuff out of the way?
Sure, let me switch over to that section. It'll take me a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
While he's doing that, how you doing, Jacob? I hear
I'm doing pretty good.
you've recently been out in the wilderness.
Yeah, I was out in Central California.
Jacob, would you say you finally touched grass?
I did.
I
finally went outside.
Man's been playing Street Fighter.
It doesn't
finally touched grass.
It doesn't happen often, but it does.
Is it true that you only drink your piss for 3 days straight?
That is true.
That's
it tastes salty.
Oh, yeah, you are a salty lad, so it makes sense. That's crazy.
Speaking
well, glad to hear that you're, back in the land of the living. So clap it up for Jacob, but not too seriously. Make it a sarcastic laugh.
Yeah, you like say, good job, you touched grass.
Yeah.
That's what we really should be happy about. Jacob finally touched grass.
He got out. Now, it's my turn next.
Yep. Speaking of salty, we have to talk about Mr. Gunn. Oh, the other Mr. Gunn, Sean Gunn,
What?
brother of James Gunn. He said while being interviewed on the picket line, in 1980, CEOs made 30 times what the lowest worker is making. Now, Bob Barker makes 400 times what his lowest worker is making. I think that's a fucking shame, Bob. And maybe you should look in the mirror and ask, why is that? Is this morally okay?
Morally, no. Financially, of course.
Hey man, yeah, you gotta make that money somehow.
Well, the problem is he's making plenty of money.
No one else is though. But here's the thing: he's the CEO. Why would he pay anyone?
He has the hardest job, of course.
We will get into how much certain CEOs make later on in this particular section. But continuing with writer's statements, an actor I've not heard from in a very long time, Jane Fonda. She said, "What about those residuals for those of us working in streaming? What residuals?" You're right. Those in the executive suites are getting bigger and bigger salaries than ever, but actors were getting less and less, just like the writers. End quote. And Justin Bateman, which is a funny name, says that studios wanted to feed 100 years of acting professions for a notable fee to train the GIA models so that our work could be Frankenstein into new AI characters and no consent from any of the actors.
I didn't realize Frankenstein was a way to describe something.
Oh yeah, it's like when you take two different things and you stitch them back together, they don't look correct. That's the kind of fusion thing. Fusions in the Ben 10 franchise, DJ?
Yeah.
Like Kevin's. You remember Kevin's amalgam form? That's just a Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah, it's a weird mishmash of stuff.
Yeah, but like I said earlier, we have the how much money certain CEOs have made in the past 5 years. I will Google some of the names because some of the names don't stand out in my mind. First one we have is David Zaslav. Do you remember what company he works for?
No.
Okay, we're gonna play a game. I'm gonna give you 3 companies, and you're gonna tell me which one of them you think he works for. Do you think he works for Amazon? Do you think he works for Paramount, or do you think he works for WB Discovery?
I think he works for Amazon.
Which one?
Amazon.
No, that is dead wrong, Jacob.
Oh.
Which one did you say, DJ?
I don't know.
You give up?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead and give me the answer.
David Zaslav works for WB Discovery.
Well, that's good.
And he makes $498 million.
You could buy a lot of bread with that.
Yeah.
Yes, you could. Next guy we have on our list is Ari Emanuel. You want to guess what company he works for?
Which one would that be?
He works for Endeavor, an entertainment and media agency that owns the UFC and now the WWE. He makes $346 million.
That's a lot. You see you see the money people make. These people make, and it's like, no.
Next we have is Reed Hastings. He is the CEO, one of the CEOs of Netflix, and he makes $209 million. Remember we talked about Mr. Iker? He makes $195 million. And the last guy is also a Netflix guy. Ted Soros makes $192 million. Meanwhile, the average screenwriter pay has dropped by 14% in those 5 years. Isn't that interesting? But anyways, on to the next one. Tom Cruise was present in the negotiation session in June between studios and SGA, where he urged the studios to hear out SAG's concerns about AI and stunt performers.
I mean, I can. So I was watching just a video today, and it was like some like the AI emulated modern songs in the style of like something like Frank Sinatra, and it sounded extremely realistic. And so if that can happen with actors, like a voice actor, for example, that would be really shitty. Like some of these AI are really good at that. I don't know.
Yeah. So next we have on our list is from Bob Oakhurst. I think I said that guy's name right. On the sad picket line, he said, "We have to do this, and we have to do this right now. So we don't have to do this for the next 20 years."
Yeah, you gotta get it over with before.
And SAG has set up an emergency financial assistance program. This has been built to provide urgent financial support to striking performers and their families until the strike ends. And next, you two got anything to say on this before I continue?
Which one?
I thought you said
No,
something.
not the other one.
Okay. SAG LA Vice President Mitchell Hurt explains that you know those actors when you go, "Oh, there's that guy from that show." You don't recognize their name. Those actors are working class actors who are literally working paycheck to paycheck. We highly recommend giving this. Oh wait, oopsie. It's a full video. Someone's saying please rewatch the full video, and I did watch it. Oopsie. Camilo Glenn says some of the Orange is the New Black cast worked second jobs because they couldn't afford not to. We couldn't afford cabs to set. Back in 2019, Netflix claimed it was their most popular original series, and that 105 million users had watched at least one episode. That is a lot of people.
How much did we get paid? Like not. We don't know the exact amount, but like nothing, almost.
Not enough to where they had to get second jobs. Next we have because of the strike, Netflix has canceled their live action Masters of the Universe movie, and the movie Netflix spent $30 million on the development of that movie. Meanwhile, they claim they don't have enough money to pay their actors and writers fairly.
That's pretty bad.
Back to Mr. Cruise. SAG asked Tom Cruise to join the picket line, nothing that having his visual support would send a strong message to studios. Cruise was non-committal, but offered to assist in other ways. Here's something also interesting. Studios are losing at least $600,000 per week for each halted production due to their unwillingness to pay actors and writers. Gladiator 2 was filming a complex action sequence with Paul Monet and several hundred extras in a replica of the Coliseum when filming was halted.
So a lot of some of these movies have just been stopped completely. Then
David Lowe's epic pop melodrama Mother Mary, starring Anne Hathaway, Mike Michelko, and Hunter Scoville, has been granted a SAG interim agreement to continue filming. Waivers are given out to allow truly independent projects to continue filming with SAG members. SAG and the WGA have filed a labor grievance against NBC Universal after they blocked off the sidewalk where picketers were protesting. The WGA says that this has forced picketers to patrol in busy streets where 2 picketers have been struck by a car. Ew.
That sounds bad. Are they okay?
I hope so. I very hope so. It doesn't go further into detail. Mandy Moore says she only received very tiny, like 81 cents streaming residual check for This Is Us. Many actors in our position for years before us were able to live off of the residuals or at least pay their bills. bills, Mandy Moore was quoted as saying. Jessica Stanton has shared a statistic that states 87% of SAG slash AFRTA union members are most like making less than $26,000 a year. They don't qualify for health insurance. You kind of need health insurance.
Yeah, I mean,
Right,
if you're
Jacob?
gonna work a job, you need benefits.
James Orditz says one of the big wake-up call moments for me was seeing many of my talented actors and writer friends being sick and having to do self-care. They say I don't have insurance. They were working, but they weren't making that insurance threshold. Laura Lindsley highlights how the SAG strike is not just issues about the actors, just people seeing and knowing. It's issue dealing with people working very hard trying to get a foot in the door. Next I have is Rachel McAdams says, I'm out on the picket line to support the unions. I think what they're asking for is totally within reason. Nothing is overreaching. Oh god, this is gonna be a big one. Some guy,
That's big. I just
yeah,
saw it.
it's a no, not what she said. I meant the next thing I have to read. That is a
Yeah, I know. It's like,
guy named DB Woodside said the overall majority of shows are not filmed in LA where most live. So what does that mean? Well, if you're a series regular on TV shows, you are getting flown to another city, another country, Canada usually, where you are expected to live for the duration of filming. They give you a relocation fee to get you started, usually falls between 4,000 and 8,000. That is for the life of the series. Not every season, once, I repeat, once. So if you're on a show for 5, 6, 7 seasons, you're expected to pay your rent and mortgage and car lease back in LA where you most live. You're also expected to pay for your rent and rental car in the city that they decide to move you to for the duration of the series. 4, 5, 6, and 7 seasons, depending on the success of your show, most of us pay month to month, or we find a lead that would make you break when the job is over, or we find another acting friend that would be willing to take over that lease. I've done this with many of my friends, added airline tickets to fly back and forth to see your partner and children, pay for for that shit too. This happens every single season on TV shows in the US that film outside of LA. The statement continues to go on. I don't know many folks that can easily afford a mortgage, an apartment rental, 2 cars, one lease, the other another rental car, an airline ticket to see their family, and not eventually see their financial pain. And that is why when most jobs finish, actors are racing to find the next job because the clock is always ticking financially. Residuals matter. This idea that all actors are millionaires is bullshit. That's the top 1% of actors are doing very well. The majority of actors are not. Lastly, it isn't always that way. It's changed for cost-cutting purposes. But I guess who saves millions by shooting in other cities in the countries? The studios. End quote.
long.
Yep. Kyle Penn says the idea that these big media companies who are making a lot of money, even as our business changes, are not willing to increase pay by more than 5% when inflation and everything else should account for 11% isn't tenable. Taylor Alkery. Oh, what do you guys want to say, Jacob?
No.
Okay. Taylor Okri tells the discussion films on the picket line, we have serious problems going on. We can't fix this world. AI should be taking its aim at that. But instead, we're having it write poetry? We're having it replace people to save a penny? That's not even going. Next we have, his statement continues. To make a dent in the issue that they have, which is these bloated production budgets that have nothing to do with actors and writers. That was his end of statement. Edgar Wright on the picket line said, this is the first time I've been in LA and be able to come down to see people doing this on a day-to-day basis in the baking heat. I'm in just awe. Okay. Yuri Lowenthal opened the Spider-Man 2 San Diego Comic-Con panel by saying that their collective solidarity with the WGA in the SAG, he said they're allowed to be here due to different contracts with games, but it might not stay that way forever. End quote. And Haley Atwell, known for playing Captain Carter in the MCU, might help, says why 70% of SAG members don't earn enough to qualify for health insurance. He said, I mean, not he, she said, for the accident. There is an illusion if you've ever seen on the telly, then you're fine, but for most people, that is not the case. This is not an industry that thrives in it. This is an industry on its knees. End quote. That is all of the stuff I had found on the strike. So, DJ, where do we want to go now?
I say, well, I'm not DJ. I say we go to DC.
Okay. So,
Go right ahead.
nope, you go ahead. You need to answer my question.
Yeah, I say we go right ahead and move on to DC.
Okay, over to the DC multiverse.
No.
Starting off, DC has decided to join Marvel in trying to join in the manga route. Let's see if they're more successful than DC. I mean, Marvel. Let's see if DC is more successful than Marvel.
I heard the Deadpool manga was doing good.
I've never read it, but I've seen it in stores. So I
we
just
have-
find the Superman one looking really funny.
It is kind of funny. So our 4 titles are Joker Operation 1, and it looks like he's holding a little baby Selena. Is it just me, or does she look like that little baby look like Selena?
I thought he was supposed to be raising a baby Batman, but I could be wrong.
'Cause it looks like cat ears and bat ears. Next
We'll
we
just have
got
to see
is
on that front.
next we got is Superman.
Versus Messi.
Honestly, we should have Superman versus Messi. I feel like that'd be a comic for the ages.
And the last
he already fought Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
And last one we have is Batman Justice Buster. These will all be coming out in
Bust
September.
That's the most Japanese manga name ever heard. Justice Buster.
Now into the movie department for a little while. Craig Mazin confirms that Last of Us Part 2 will be split into 2 seasons for the HBO series. He is full quoted saying the show will not end with season 2 unless people do not watch it and will get canceled.
Well, from that point, I can probably understand. I mean, from what I know, the series is raking in a lot of money.
Next we have is the first episode of Adventure Time, Fiona and Cake, will be shown at San Diego Comic-Con on the 19th. Legendary voice actor, which is a couple days after we've probably uploaded this, but when I grabbed it. Legendary voice actor Tom Kenny says that it is the most emotional thing that he's ever recorded, according to a source who's spoken with him at New York Comic-Con.
Which that's
I'm a bit
high bar to across.
I mean, I've watched. I mean, I own Distant Lands at this point, so I've watched the entire series. So I'm a big fan of Adventure Time, so I'll probably check it out.
WB execs have considered delaying Blue Beetle to next year, but ultimately decided against doing that.
Yeah,
This
there's
next
really
one's
no
funny.
point.
Yes,
There
it
really
is.
is no point.
Either GJ will be happy about this news or very sad about this news.
What have I done this time?
The Flash is projected to end its domestic theater run with less money than Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern movie.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know if that's great for the Green Lantern or the worst thing possible for the Flash. And you know what? Score up one for Ryan Reynolds, I guess. Even when he loses, he still wins.
Oh, you're gonna love the next one, DJ. James Gunn has debunked a rumor claiming that Daniel Craig is eyeing to play Lex Luthor in Superman Legacy. He's full quote to say, this is not true.
James, Booby, work on your movie.
He can't.
Dad, talk to us.
He can't work on his movie. He has nothing better to do now.
All right.
Okay.
Crap.
You can't say, hey, work on your movie. He can't work on his movie. He's already written the script, but he can't edit the script because writing strike, and he can't hire actors because the actor strike.
Well, this is
So you can't say go back to working on your movie. He can't.
this is upsetting.
Andy Massini, director of Flash, wanted Jay Garrick front and center in The Flash, and VFX supervisor, hey, DJ, I didn't know you worked on this movie.
What did I? No, I didn't. No,
Well, it says VFX supervisor DJ.
no, I didn't work on this movie. I would never work on garbage.
Suggested to have a real face just to help with the particular look of the shot. Flash editor Jason Bling jumped into the opportunity to become the face of the Golden Age speedster. Know what we've learned today, Jacob?
What?
Our buddy DJ worked on the Flash.
I didn't.
That's when he knows the quality of it.
I swear I didn't edit his goofy run. That wasn't me.
Yeah, sure. And we're gonna
Besides,
leave you
if I
like we
worked on a
believe.
movie, I'd do the good stuff.
You mean the one from the CW where they just run on a treadmill?
Exactly.
At least that's running.
And not walking underwater.
Next we have is Ben Affleck complex scene from Aquaman Lost Kingdom has been cut, which was meant to replace Michael Keaton's scene, has been cut. James Gunn and Peter Safran removed it to ensure they don't promise a movie universe that will not come to fruition, which makes sense.
That Snyder fans going crazy right now.
Yeah, for true.
Aquaman 2 has went through 3 rounds of reshoots, 2 cut Batman scenes, and a mixed test screening score. This film is now said to have a positive track after the last round of reshoots before their actors.
This next one, dude. We
This
truly live in a society.
Yes, we do, and very pun intended. Braun, one of the two, the studio behind the very popular movie Judas and the Black Messiah, The Idol, and Joker has filed for bankruptcy.
Youch.
You know, you thought it was a comedy, but it was just a tragedy.
Now, this one made DJ very jump for joy when I told him about it earlier today. A new Justice League versus King Kong versus Godzilla is coming in October of 2023.
It's based. This man is appearing everywhere. Let's go.
But who is Godzilla beating? Can he beat Superman?
Yes, he squats on Superman.
I have an interesting question for you, DJ.
What's that?
What's your opinion on Roger Rabbit and Looney Tunes back in action?
I love Who Framed Roger Rabbit, if that's what you're referring to.
What'd you think of the animation style?
I thought it was a lot of fun. And so was Looney Tunes back in action.
What about
Area 52?
What about Space Jam and Space Jam: A New Legacy?
I find a lot of ironic enjoyment from Space Jam. Space Jam 2, not so much.
Well,
you mean the movie where they just suck on for LeBron James?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
and oddly got Don Cheadle to be in that movie.
Yeah, what was that about?
Anyways, the reason I asked it is because a new live-action animation hybrid Lego movie is in the works. Adam and Aaron Neal are set to direct. The movie will not continue the Lego movie franchise, though.
I was gonna say, if they do that, they're screwed. But you know what? From everything else we've gotten this year, this doesn't sound that bad.
Sounds kind of okay.
Lady Gaga's assistant director asked people to refer to Gaga as Lee on the set of Joker 2. She was quoted as saying, or I don't know which one is. From the point on, it was like she was our whole connection changed. I was like, all right, cool, said Lauren Deer. A new listing refers to Wonder Woman's Historia of the Amazons, a required reading for DC Studios' upcoming Paradise Lost series. Due to the writer's strike, Warner Brothers is considering pushing Dune. Jacob, no humming while I'm reading. Is considering pushing Dune Part 2 to 2024, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom and the Color Purple are already being considered for delays.
This next one I like this next one.
Brand new songs from Rebecca Sugar and Patrick. I ain't even gonna try.
Mikhail.
Thank you. Will be in Adventure Time, Fiona and Cake.
Do you know the context behind that show? I don't think you do.
Me? No.
Okay, so in Adventure Time, there's a whole fan fiction that Ice King writes about.
Oh, you
Finn and
mean
Jake.
okay? I thought you meant behind the songs. Oh, I know.
No.
Yeah. I know about where Finn and Cake come from.
Yeah, Fiona and Cake appeared sometimes in the original series. They weren't extremely frequent, but they appeared sometimes.
I guess it is considered technically a reoccurring segment, I guess.
Yeah, kind of like that weird alternate universe where Jake was like living on a farm, or Finn and Jake living on a farm. Oh yeah, that's getting into some
Batman and Robin producer Michael User has blamed WB polarization for merchandising for some of the movie's issues. His full quote was, "You're making 2-hour infomercials. Let directors go make great movies and toys will sell anyway."
That movie was
how much of that
it wasn't also it was also not good.
I agree, but I also was like, that was a problem with Batman and Batman Returns. They couldn't really sell toys.
Yeah.
Because the movies were too gritty.
Then you jump straight to Batman Forever, and that goes completely out the window.
In fact, did you know Joel Schumacher wanted to make a movie based on the original two after Batman and Robin?
I can believe that.
We have the listings of the highest rate the scores for all of Christopher Nolan's films by Rotten Tomatoes. I'll start from bottom to top. At 69%, we have The Tenet. At 82%, we have The Following. I have to zoom in and put something hard to read. Interstellar, we have 73. For The Prestige, we have 76. For Batman Begins, we have 84%. Inception, 87, which also ties with Dark Knight Rises, 87. Insomnia with a 92. Zurich with a 92. Dunkirk. I was thinking again. I'm not even gonna try that next one. Mentro Inferno at a 93, Oppenheimer, his most recent film, at 94, and The Dark Knight at 94 as well.
I mean, this man's probably going to have one of the best averages when it comes to directors, right? I mean, you know how shaky Rotten Tomato scores can be, but I'm just saying from that standpoint.
Thanks to studios' unwillingness to pay their writers and actors fairly, The Challenger which is finished, will no longer be releasing in September.
What a power play.
Here's something interesting. James Gunn and Peter Savin's DC takeover has sparked a surge in comic book sales for the company, in some cases tripling the figures of certain titles.
Hey, you know what? Who means more money to the comic creators? Good on them.
I've seen more of, like, for example, like, I've seen more. I don't know if this was before the takeover, but like DC Comics has been more invigorated. I think it's on the up and up.
That is, from that standpoint, yeah, that is true. I can give you that much.
Next we have is Rick and Morty. The anime has just got its first teaser trailer.
Exactly what we need.
And we got an announcement of Beast World, written by Tom Taylor and art by Ivan Riz and Danny Mick. It'll be at the end of the year's Dawn of DC event.
Ivan Riz?
Race.
I took
Race
a
or
guess.
whatever.
I took a guess. We have 2 new upcoming DC animated movies. We have Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earth, and we have another animated Watchmen movie.
The last one wasn't really animated. It was the motion comic. You actually bought it for me.
I didn't buy it for you. I had it in my collection, and I know you'd get more use out of it than I would.
Same dude.
I like it. The motion comic though was like they used flash animation to create the pictures or to make the pictures move. Which it's great if you want like the original story with no editing. But an animated movie, I don't know how I feel about that. It could be interesting, but I don't know if they change things. That's my only issue.
Next we have is Jim Lee, the new head guy of DC Comics, confirms that James Gunn and Peter Safran took over DC, have still made comics. One of those being The Authority, which wasn't even in print at the time of the film's announcement.
All right.
Next we have is back to him. Andy Massini says Michael Keaton's Batman retired after killing a colonel in front of their child, which is extractly mirroring situations of what happened to him when his parents were killed in front of him.
His face does not show that. His face looks like he just put someone off.
We got two more comic announcements. We got a new series called Neo Before Zod, releasing in 2024 by Joe Casey and Dan McDad, and a sneak peek to Action Comics 160 by also Joe Casey and Dan McCabe. It's nice to see Joe Casey getting some work.
Yeah, always good to see.
We also got a reveal of the new villain who's a doomsday level threat beyond the chain. It looks like a weird scarecrow chain man combination.
He does look kind of interesting.
And the last 2 topics I left these 2 to last because I knew if I did, I let DJ geek out over these last 2. So there's a method to my madness. First we have, I'm not even going to try to say the official name of this trailer, but we got a new trailer for Mortal Kombat 1.
Boomgatti.
Thank you. That is the word I could not say.
Yeah, which is a new thing they're adding in this game, lore-wise. Kind of neat.
And we got a reveal of the combat pack, which is Omni-Man, Homelander, Peacemaker, Quan Chi, Takeda, and Ermac. How well did I say those names?
Hey, you know what? Good job, Karl. Good job.
And the thing that makes a lot of people happy is J.K. Simmons will be voicing Omni-Man in the Mortal Kombat 1 combat.
And in that Boomgatti trailer, we also got the confirmation that Baraka, Tanya, and last seen her in Armageddon, Lee May will be playable. I think she came in around Deadly Alliance, something like that. I don't know. Ages ago, back when dinosaurs still ruled the earth.
I have to ask you a question, DJ.
Go for it.
Do you think Omni-Man would like some cookies from your house?
No. I don't think he'd want anything from my house. He's Omni-Man.
What about Mark? Would Mark like some stuff from your house?
I would let Mark borrow my stuff. I can work with. I would let him borrow my stuff.
Yeah, he can't keep your stuff.
No, he can't keep it. He can't keep it. And there is one other thing that you almost forgot. Well, you didn't forget. You didn't know. But there was a third trailer released that day for Cage Match, the next Mortal Kombat Legends movie. It's about Johnny Cage.
I was gonna say I didn't forget anything. I just didn't see it.
Yeah. I saw the trailer. It's awesome. Gilbert Gottfried's in it. That's awesome. Rest in peace, Gilbert Gottfried. Yeah, it looks sweet.
Oh, don't worry. He's not the only one we'll be talking about who has a project post-death.
Yeah. But yeah, just wanted to mention that I need to watch the other MK Legends movies because I saw Scorpion's Revenge and EC Battle of the Realms. Need to watch Snowblind, and then I gotta watch this. This one looks awesome.
You know what you need to do first, though?
What?
You need to watch Harley Quinn, like you're
You know,
supposed to.
don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. There'll be a day where I sit down and watch all the stuff that I need to watch.
You've said that twice, and you have not completed it.
I just haven't found the right day yet.
And you better work on it.
Yeah. Anyway, like you said, Carl, that was the end of the DC stuff, the Warner Brothers
Yep.
stuff.
Yep.
All right, then. Then, in any case, we turn it over to Jacob, who will be bringing us the
Hmm.
Marvel and Disney stuff. Say hi, Jacob.
Hello. So we're gonna start with Disney first. Some of these are really funny. I'll save the funny one for last.
Let's go.
First one, Disney considered selling some of its linear TV channels like ABC, Fox Networks, National Geographic Freeform, and selling a stake in ESPN is a possibility as it may not be core for the company. Maybe a little bit too much expansion there.
You think maybe having a monopoly on every form of media isn't a good idea?
It also may cost you a lot of money that you probably do not have.
John David Washington stars in the new trailer for Gareth Edwards, the creator. Looks interesting. Justin Simeon says he hasn't heard any updates with the Lando series in years. I certainly poured my heart and spent a lot of time working with them to put together a great show. And then Andor season 2 is halted filming with only weeks left due to the studio not deciding to pay actors and writers fairly. So more strike stuff. Alex Lothar has been cast as the male lead in Fox's Alien series. Lothar is currently filming the series, but he's part of the UK Guild Equity. Actors from that guild are not legally allowed to strike in solidarity with SAG-AFTRA. This casting was finalized before the strike.
On one hand, it sucks they can't be a part of the strike, but on the other,
they're in a union.
Alien series, so like that's pretty cool.
James Cameron says the weaponization of AI is the biggest danger. I warned you guys in 1984 and you didn't listen.
It's true. We're like a few years away from what
Skynet.
happens in the first Terminator movie.
Skynet.
We are screwed.
This is the funny one. Disney is having fictional characters walk the red carpet of the world premiere of Haunted Mansion due to studio's inability to give actors fair pay and working conditions.
This is so freaking funny.
They won't even bother to pay them, so like, okay, let's send these guys out.
You know what's even more funny? DJ told us earlier, the three image characters they have on our screen, which is Mickey, Minnie, and Maleficent, are not in Haunted Mansion.
No, they're not. They're showing us fictional characters who have nothing to do with this movie, and it's not like there are not characters from the actual Haunted Mansion ride that they could do the same thing for. That would at least make a little more sense. But no, they freaking trotted these poor souls out.
Bob Iger needs more money.
Does he?
No,
Though?
I know what he needs. A nice kick in the ass.
Oh.
You think I care about him? About Bob fucking Iger?
Carl, chill. There are children watching.
You think I give a fuck?
Also,
Dude, I thought our videos were 18 plus.
You children should not be watching. Our democratic
Our
wow.
democratic system.
Our democratic system requires that children do not watch this.
Our
Our demographic is in like the 24 to 35 range and something like that.
You know what, DJ? Just to spite you. Just to spite you. Know what I have to say?
Why?
I want you to put the image of Maleficent, Mickey, and Minnie on screen right now.
No.
Yes.
Oh, suck an egg.
No, you do.
No. Hoodoo your voodoo. Go ahead, Jacob. Lead us into the Marvel news.
Alright, so we have some MCU stuff. Miss Marvel's entire season will air on ABC next month, becoming the first Marvel Studios to release on network television. Pretty big. Marvel Studios Guardians 3 is streaming on August 2nd.
That's pretty cool.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 is releasing on Disney Plus on August 11th. So I'm pretty excited.
Is it exciting?
Yeah, I get to watch it again.
I get to watch Gwen Stacy die.
Yeah, but you get to see Emma Stone.
I get to see Gwen Stacy snap her neck.
Okay, here's a question. Would you rather watch Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy or the Spider-Man 3's Gwen Stacy?
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Despite the questionable quality at times, I gotta go with Bryce on that one.
Really, the only thing she did was fall from a building.
Yeah,
die,
but and Peter were kind of sweet. Freaking Emma Stone was voidless.
Oh, just like your acting career.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I'd pick her.
Okay.
But continue, Jacob.
Okay, so Marvel's Captain America returns from Cap Wolf and the Howling Commander #1 this October.
Bro,
So,
they bringing back the Howling Commandos.
new look. There's a new look at Brie Larson, Tanea Paris, Iman Vellani, and Samuel Jackson in the Marvels. And then we saw. You can get to see another picture of them.
Which I will not be putting up. You guys have Google.
On the first day of filming The Marvels, Iman Vellani hid behind director Nia DaCosta when Samuel Jackson left before emerging to pepper him with questions.
You know what? That's pretty sweet.
I wonder how many times he said motherfucker while talking to her.
Every time. That's all he said.
Iron Man's art director has received an official new Infinity Saga branded replica pin with the I Love You 3000 engraving. So
That's
pretty
sweet.
cool. The Venom of the Widow from Marvel Comics.
More Venom! Yay! But now it's Black Widow.
The truth behind Nightcrawler's birth will be revealed in X-Men Blue Origins #1.
Oh,
So if you ever wondered,
Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Are they going to retcon this dude's story again?
what was it
Well, you
last
heard-
time?
Isn't he the
Or
son? Isn't he the son of the devil in Mystique?
Yeah, okay. Basically, originally, he was going to be the child of Mystique and Destiny. But back then, that was a big no-no. You couldn't do that. And so the writers backed themselves into a corner and they made Azazel, a demon, who looks exactly like Nightcrawler, but just red. And it was like, no, he's Nightcrawler's father. And then there was that weird period of time where Nightcrawler was weirdly attached to his adopted sister.
Wait, who's the adopted sister? I don't know who that is.
I can't remember her name.
So guess what
was
he
it?
currently? You know what he currently is now, DJ?
What the hell are most of the X-Men doing nowadays? What is Nightcrawler doing?
He's Spider-Man.
Oh, damn it.
And as Jacob can see, and that you will put on screen, he's wearing a Spider-Man costume
No,
for a
I'm
very
not.
long time.
Actually, speaking of Spider-Man, this is amazing. A new Spider-Man themed PS5 and a DualSense controller have been revealed to tie in with Marvel's Spider-Man 2. It looks so cool, man. This is the
yeah.
PS5 I want to get.
It does. It does.
It looks sick.
It's got the Venom symbiote wrapping around it. It looks great.
And, Christopher Nolan says Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man is one of the greatest casting decisions in the history of movies.
You know what? I can't really disagree with him on that.
In fact, this is news now. The first poster for Marvel Disney Plus's upcoming Lego Marvel special has been spotted at SDCC. Did you guys know that Lego Marvel is getting a special?
Let's go.
And then
I
Yeah.
am so happy.
We haven't got one of those in a while, though.
Yeah, that's true.
new footage from Disney Plus's X-Men '97 has been released at SDCC.
Just too bad we're probably not going to be seeing it for a while, are we?
And then this one, Grant Phillips will be playing Harry Osborn in Spider-Man PS5. I'm just gonna call it that. Spider-Man 2 joining Yuri Lowenthal returning as Peter Parker. Both actors have played Ben Tennyson.
Fun
So we should
fact.
Do you recognize his name, DJ? Graham Phillips?
I mean, I know which Ben he played, but am I supposed to recognize him from something else?
Nope. Just if you recognize him from which Ben he was.
Yeah, he was the one from Race Against Time.
Yep.
A movie we have previously reviewed, actually.
Link down below. Now that's your next job,
Probably.
DJ. That's your job, DJ.
Look,
Put the link down below.
If I'm gonna do that, you're gonna have to write it down somewhere because I'm gonna forget. But yeah, we reviewed that movie ages ago.
Before we had our new format.
Yep.
This one is cool. Just announced at Marvel SDCC, superstar artist Greg Capullo returns to Marvel Comics this year. Get a good look at his new Wolverine 37 variant cover. Looks pretty cool. I'm a big fan of Capullo. So.
The man is talented.
And then a new comic called Deadpool 7 Slaughters is coming out. Which, Frank Castle has disappeared, but a new Punisher saga begins. Joe Garrison, retired SHIELD Black Ops agent, is brought back into the action after this past year's weird spinal head. So I guess he's being replaced.
Yeah,
They're
he's not really the
replacing
Punisher.
Frank.
Well, he's not. Frank's not really the Punisher right now. Right now, Frank's a ninja man.
Yeah, because he's the leader of the Hand right now, isn't he?
I think so. No,
Well,
I think he's the
either
leader of
doing
the
that
foot.
or he's Cosmic Ghost Rider.
No, I think he's the leader of the foot.
We talked about this today off camera. Just announced that Marvel SDCC, Marvel Comics teams artwork for 2 super secret Rob Liefeld projects coming in 2024. Man, I'm so excited.
Thankfully, the man is only writing.
Yeah, First Contact and Time to Kill. Time to Kill doesn't look too bad, but the fact that I'm getting flashbacks to 90s X-Force.
Yeah, I definitely see what you're talking about. Just looking at it.
It's giving me flashbacks. New Luke Cage and Spider-Man books for Gaming War. Deadly Hands of Kung Fu. Spider-Man is a new team up in Amazing Spider-Man. Villains are fighting villains. Criminals are fighting criminals. Spider-Man has had enough. Gaming War is a new crossover event spinning out of Amazing Spider-Man. So all those little ones I just mentioned are going to be part of it. So
Well, thank you there, Jacob.
that's all of Marvel.
Yes, sir. And hi, it's my time. I'm here to bring you the Universal / Paramount news and the miscellaneous stuff. So let's get the Universal / Paramount stuff out of the way. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1 and A Partridge in a Pear Tree opens with $235 million worldwide on a $290 million budget, which could have been better. Put it that way. Although it opens with $80 million domestically, a new franchise best. Yellowstone, where will air on CBS this fall. This is due to a lack of new content available because the studio's unwillingness to pay and treat actors and writers fairly. Gee, who would have guessed? Let's see here. Paul, do you want to help me out with this one?
Which one? Might need to be a little more descriptive.
The one after the Yellowstone.
Okay, how can I be helpful?
There's a lot of text.
You want me to read it for you?
Yes, mucho texto.
Okay, I'll read both because the other one's a big chunk reader too. So I'll be taking over for half a second. Matt
Yes,
Damon was planning on taking a break from acting, but I had one exception: if Christopher Nolan called. Nolan then called him with an offer for Oppenheimer. Damon was fully quoted as saying, "I had negotiated extensively with my wife that I was taking time off. I've been in the Interstellar, and then Chris put me on ice for a couple of movies, so I was not in the rotation. This is without knowing whether or not he was working on anything, because he never talked to you. He just calls you out of the blue, which he did for him." And the other comment we have that I need to read is from Salian Murphy. I believe I'm saying that guy's first name right. It says Oppenheimer was shot in 57 days. That's a very short window of time.
Yeah.
He was quoted as saying, "The set was huge, but it feels like being on an independent movie. There's just Chris and the cameraman. One camera always, unless there's something huge set piece, and then boom, up, and that's it. There's no video village, there's no monitors, nothing. He was a very analog filmmaker."
Thank you, Karl.
No problem.
He's analog to the point where the Oppenheimer atomic bomb explosion was created by combining a bunch of science experiments. He was quoted as saying, "We built aquariums with power in it. We dropped silver particles. We had molded metallic balloons, which were lit up from the inside." So there's your science lesson for the day, kids. Go blow stuff up.
You
He's
love
only
to
used
see it.
CGI. There's only one notable time he's ever used CGI. Do you know what movie he used it in was?
What?
He was actually in The Dark Knight Rises. During the atom bomb explosion, that was the only computer generated effect.
That's fair.
But
All
the-
right,
his-
on to the miscellaneous. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, his crew knew, if you ever want to do that again, we have to figure out how to do it for real this time. And he was right. They had to figure it out for real.
You know what? Fair enough. Yeah, moving on to the miscellaneous section. James Cameron says, quoting him here, "I don't respond to offensive rumors in the media usually, but I need to now. I'm not in talks about an Ocean Gate film, nor will I ever be."
Do they remember that story, the Ocean Gate storyline?
Oy vey.
Hey guys, we're gonna go. Hey guys, we're gonna go look at the Titanic with a game controller. Nothing bad will happen to us," said no one ever.
Can make a movie about it.
No. Christopher Nolan doesn't use email or smartphones in his script and writes his scripts on a computer that isn't connected to the internet. He was quoted as saying, "I think technology and what it can provide is amazing. My personal choice is about how involved I get. It's the level of distraction. If I'm generating my material and writing my own scripts, being on my smartphone all day wouldn't be very useful for me," which is fair. Microsoft and PlayStation have signed a deal to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Del Toro's upcoming Frankenstein movie will go a thematic road of father figures. That's a word. And is described as very emotional by Jane Miles Dale. The film will star Andrew Garfield, Mia Goth, and Oscar Isaac.
I only recognize two of those names.
Freaking Oscar is just in everything now. Him and Pedro Pascal.
But it's nice to see Andrew's getting some work now.
Hey, and you know what? Good to see it. Sam Mendes says that he's declined an offer to return and direct the next James Bond movie. Michael Cera says he wasn't sure if he wanted to continue acting after the overwhelming fame from Superbad. Says he was already signed to do Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and he was quoted saying, "I obviously feel so grateful that happened."
Yes, we also have a review of that link down below.
You have to write that one down too, Carl. Christopher Nolan on using AI and CGI in filmmaking. I think any tool, whether AI generated or computer based, is all another tool for filmmakers to create with, as long as we have faith in our human beings creating these tools.
I agree.
Yeah, fair.
Makes sense to me.
Dwayne, go ahead. Did you want to say something on the topic, Jacob?
I mean, AI generated stuff. AI can be used correctly, but if it's used too much to replace people, then it ruins the point of movie
It
making.
ruins the heart of it. It really does. Let's see here. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson will earn $50 million for Red One. It's the highest upfront payment any actor has received for one single role. Christopher Nolan on directing another superhero film. No. Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd will star in A24's Death of a Unicorn. The film follows a father and daughter who run over a unicorn on their way home.
I have I hate to say it, a very morbid sense I have to say to you, DJ.
What's that?
You should go take your little cousin Abby to go see that movie.
I would love to. We also got our first poster for Invincible Season 2, which is cool. Netflix has controversially removed its $19.99 ad-free basic plan in the US. They hope this will push new subscribers to sign up for the more lucrative subscription options. What basically sounds like they just want us to pay more.
But they can't pay their own actors and writers.
Nope. In fact, that actually goes pretty nicely into our next topic, because while we're on the discussion of Death of a Unicorn, it will be noted that this film will be in production soon due to a SAG-AFTRA waiver that allows truly independent productions to continue filming with SAG actors.
DJ is pronounced SAG.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna tread that sort of water. Also, mark your calendars, because Borderlands will be in theaters August 9th, 2024. It'll be starring Cate Blanchett, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, Ariana Greenblatt, Florian Montanu. Yeah, and Jamie Lee Curtis. You see Jamie Lee still doing stuff. Another quote from Christopher Nolan: "People will tell you the success of Star Wars had nothing to do with its visual effects. It was down to its great story. That's just not the case. It is indeed a great story, but it's also an incredible visual and oral experience." I
You two,
100% agree with that.
I was gonna say, do you two agree with Mr. Nolan's statement?
If Star Wars hadn't looked as good as it did, people wouldn't have remembered it as much.
You know what else they remember about Star Wars? At least the first three?
That they were written well.
That and Luke kissed his own sister.
That was before they planned it.
Chill out, Karl. Chill out. An American Psycho comic series is releasing later this year. The comic series will follow the classic Patrick Bateman story, as well as a modern psychopath, a social media obsessed millennial named Charlie.
Is it just me? Excluding the top half, the social media obsessed millennial. Doesn't this sound like a certain Marvel teen was being created about 3 years ago?
Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. AMC is scrapping its plan to charge more money based on theater seat location. Brian Cox warns on the dangers of AI. Let's see here. The AI Brian Cox could go. It's a weird way to structure a sentence.
What do you mean?
It could go.
No, it makes
ahead,
sense.
Carl.
The AI Brian Cox could go do animal impressions. I've never done a fucking animal impression in my life.
Why is he talking in the third person?
He's talking about the AI version of himself.
Oh, well, that makes more sense. Disregard. Jacob, can you help me with pronunciation?
For who?
Image.
I got it. Image 8590 miscellaneous section. It's the
I
one with the
want
giant
to do this. I want to do this one
Miyazaki.
justice.
one
Casey,
at
I
a
want to-
time.
Hayao Miyazaki.
Thank you. His final film, The Boy and the Heron, is reportedly eyed to have its North American premiere on TIFFs. What's TIFF?
I'll Google that while we continue to go through our topics.
Thank you.
Because I don't know what a tiff is. I was having an argument with somebody.
Because
I
that's
don't know.
exactly what a TIFF is.
This next one's sad.
Yeah, legendary singer Tony Bennett has sadly passed away at the age of 96. I mean, I'm glad the man lived a very long life, but obviously we send out our condolences to his friends and family, as well as all the people who loved him. The Walking Dead, Dead City,
Oh.
and The Walking Dead. Oh,
Okay.
go ahead.
I know what it is now. TIFF is an anagram. It means
That's kind of
the Toronto International Film Festival.
Thank you. And The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon have both been renewed for season 2. And I guess Hollywood has fallen in love with her again because Gal Gadot is to star as Queen Cleopatra in an upcoming movie.
I will say she looks a lot closer to looking like Cleopatra than any of the others because she's kind of from that area.
Yeah. We're not gonna go into that. Only thing I will mention is that this comment right here, this person said she's too pretty is the main thing, though it's pretty much that. Again, bad grammar. People need to learn how to spell, which
Okay, I will agree. That one is not so good at all.
which I can get from a standpoint because we know historically Cleopatra actually wasn't super beautiful. She was rather plain looking.
Yeah, it's just she was very popular. That's the
I mean, when your family tree is a circle, but still, it is a much better casting choice. We also finally got the teaser trailer for Invincible season 2, with episodes coming out on November 3rd on Prime Video.
That just reminds me, I have another project to finish.
Oh dear God, Carl, what have you started this time?
I have to watch Invincible.
That's fair. One Piece. It will be on Netflix August 31st. Live action One Piece.
Does Jacob have a opinion on that?
Do I have an opinion on this series? I read 33 chapters of and stop reading.
Is the One Piece real?
We can get much higher.
Before season 2 arrives, let's see. You can watch Invincible Adam Eve, a special origin story episode on Prime Video.
Could you say that again? Somebody was humming.
Before season 2 arrives, you can watch Invincible Adam Eve, a special origin story episode that is on Prime Video and was aired at the San Diego Comic-Con. Ryan Reynolds and Michael J. Fox team up against Parkinson's disease. Yes, if there's one person who can beat it, it's Deadpool.
I don't think Deadpool has it. It's only because I think he likes Michael J. Fox. But who doesn't like Michael J. Fox?
I love Michael J. Fox.
Maybe not the guy who stole his role from him. Maybe not him. Maybe he doesn't like him.
Let's see here. Lance Reddick was I can't say this word for the life of me. Posthumously has a posthumous role in Invincible Adam Eve. And that was a sentence I just did. Yay. It's been a long day. And Sterling K. Brown is cast as a major villain, Angstrom Levi, in season 2 of Invincible. A lot of season 2 Invincible news. Back to Invincible news just in general.
Oh yeah, we are on the cups of San Diego Comic-Con, so they said they would have a panel there.
That is very, very true. But it's
We're
all the
not
news.
done. No, there's not. There's 2 more.
I thought that's all I'm seeing.
I see 2 more.
Then read them off, Carl, because I can't see them at the moment.
Okay, the last 2 we have is Mr. Jamie Foxx provides the first update since his health scare. He said, I went through something I thought I'd never have to go through. I knew a lot of people were wanting to hear updates, but to be honest, I didn't want you to see me like that. I wanted you to see me laughing.
Well, that's nice.
And then we have some of the guest voice actors for Invincible season 2. We have Chloe Bennett, Rob Delaney, Luke McFarlane, Jay Farrow, Rhea Seahorn, Carly Walgreen, Shantley Vincine, Clef Curtis, Shasta Falkard, Scoot McLean, Leah Thompson, McLean Coley, Peter Cullen, which I think he's the voice of Optimus.
No, he's the voice of the Predator and Optimus Prime.
I was gonna say and Optimus. Tim Robbins, Eric Bauza, Sterling K. Brown, Kaza McLean, Dave Diggs, Ella Fleming, Lincoln Boone, Paul F. Thompson, Ben Warsick, Michael Adling, Cleveland Berto, and Phil Lamar, and Spectacular Spider-Man himself, Josh Keaton.
Was that your attempt at saying Ben Schwartz?
I took a guess.
Trying to put some respect on Movie Sonic's name.
No.
Oh,
I have more respect for Phil Lamar.
Rhea Seahorn's in this, and she plays Kim Wexler in Better Call Saul. One of the best performances I've seen.
Do you know who Phil Lamar played? Did you?
Should I?
Yes, you should know his voice very well.
I don't recognize him by name.
I am John Stewart.
Help me out.
He's John Stewart of Green Lantern Sector 2814.
Which guy?
Philip Lamar.
He played John Stewart.
Oh.
Also, did you say Leah Thompson?
I think
As
so.
as in Back to the Future's Leah Thompson?
Yeah, that's there. That's on the list.
Thanks. But all right then. That's officially the end of our news. Thank you, Karl. And thank you for all of the amazing people who've been watching recently. Our recent episode on who should not be named, did great, and we've seen a steady
Why shouldn't we talk? Why shouldn't we talk about Allison Mack? What did she do that was so evil?
Y'all talked about it. You talked about what was so evil.
Yeah, but aren't you talking about her, not Ezra Miller?
Carl,
I thought we weren't supposed to
bad
mention
juju.
Ezra.
Bad juju. Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your cow.
I don't have a cow.
All of it. But yes, that video has done amazing, far beyond what we've accomplished up to this point. And it's nice to see an influx of new people still staying around for what we have to bring now. It's actually pretty cool to see. So thank you to everyone out there. You're very nice, very lovely, very evil.
Except for you, John, watching us on the toilet. Bad John.
Yeah, get off the toilet.
Sorry, I'm lost. I'm just listening to you guys like, what is going on over here?
Just say thank you, Jacob. You can start with that. Say thank you to the people who watched our video.
Yeah, I really appreciate the new influx of viewers.
Yeah, Carl literally just texted us like in the middle of the day saying, "Hey, Deej, go look at the views we have," and then boom, we're like at over 1,000.
So, hey, there's no way.
Now we're at 2,000 now.
Yep.
That video's kind of lost its steam.
What did you expect it to exponentially grow until the end of time?
Oh no, it's a news episode. It won't do that long.
But still, it was just really cool. So thank you all. And on behalf of my friends, Carl, that's your cue.
What you?
Your cue to say something. Say goodbye to the people.
Well,
Bye, people.
You know how this works.
Come on, Carl. And Jacob.
Yeah, see you guys. I actually
Thank
care
you.
about the viewers, unlike some other person.
Thank you, Jacob. This is your favorite Southern Californian son.
Peace, y'all.
Yay!